Hi guys, welcome to Stabbed Panda Gaming. This is Liam and today we're taking a look at Orisa, brand new Overwatch character which has been released about an hour ago today. Orisa is a tank character, kind of a bit similar to Reinhardt if you imagine Reinhardt with a immovable shield and a gun. She has 200 health and armor, which is a bit less than Roadhog and D.Va, but manages to mitigate that by being able to defend herself for a short period of time. Let's take a look at her skills. So Orisa's main weapon is the fusion driver, which has got a very fast rate of fire, and I tell you what, this is so satisfying to shoot. Just the noise it makes is amazing, I love it. It's reasonably accurate at range, although you do slow down whilst you're firing, which could be a problem. The alternate fire is a little bit similar to Zaya's ultimate, which is interesting. It's a little gravity ball that sucks enemy players in towards it. So you fire that with your alternate fire button, and then whenever you want to, suck enemies in towards it by pressing that same button again. And you can imagine doing this and then shooting directly into it immediately after, or maybe you have some cool back and forth between yourself and maybe a Pharah or maybe a Junkrat's ultimate. Or maybe even just sucking enemies over the side of a cliff for an awesome environmental kill. One of the really cool things about Orisa is her protective shield, which has 900 HP, the same as Reinhardt's shield or Winston's barrier. And yes, I've checked, if you shoot this at a payload, it will go along with the payload. So you can imagine having some cool relationships with either Torbjorn's turret or Bastion deployed on a payload, the same as you could do with a Reinhardt, but actually Orisa can run around as well. Orisa is able to take significantly less damage using her Fortify ability for short periods of time, which also makes her immune to crowd control effects. And she gets this cool kind of fizzly golden sheen around her as well. And if, like me, you hate getting stuck by May's Blizzard or Zaya's Graviton Surge, this you can just walk straight out using this, it's great. Lastly, for the abilities, we've got Orisa's ultimate, which comes in the form of a Supercharger, which is this big drum thing that she lifts off of her back, places in front of her, and provides friendly players with a damage boost, up to perhaps 30 meters. Now, I played Orisa for about an hour and got a chance to use this a few times, and I tell you what, I screwed it up every single time. You've got to be really careful with this. A few other things I noticed just through my hour playthrough. She seems weak to Soldier 76 and Genji, although I'm not entirely sure why. Genji, perhaps being able to jump around and jump behind and then cut you all up, I kind of see that. And Soldier 76, I don't really understand why, but those are the two characters that really seem to stand out to me. Being a shield-based character, you can expect her to be weak to Junkrat, who is great at just taking down shields. You are not weak to Pharah, because you have a gun. So if you find that, like me, actually you play a lot of Reinhardt, but you're sick to death of being shot at by Pharah, go Orisa. In terms of difficulties to play, Orisa has got 2 stars, although actually I'm not convinced she's actually that hard. Perhaps it's that her concept is quite complicated, but actually once you get your head around it, it's actually quite easy to work out how to play her. All in all, I like this character. It's nice to see a female robot. It's nice to see a massive female robot with 4 legs that looks like a friggin' centaur. I love it aesthetically. And speaking of aesthetically, let's take a look at some of these skins. The kind of more expensive cyborgy ones and kind of buggy ones I think are particularly cool. Although I wonder if Blizzard could have perhaps done a little bit more to really get value for money aesthetically out of the more expensive ones. But hey, that's Blizzard really, isn't it? And let's finish with this. I wonder if this is perhaps a reference to a certain fast person. Anyway, that was our first look at Orisa. Really looking forward to seeing this character develop and learning how to play them and ultimately getting thoroughly wrecked by Orisa in the very near future. That's all for today. I've been Liam and I will see you later. Goodbye.